Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about the fastest way to grind and farm out the brand new Ultragrind Ordeals in Space Marine 2 patch 14 for the Cloaks and Tabbards on the Tactical and Assault class. Now, this is a much smaller Wargear update than the one we saw in patch 13. We only have a few options here for our Wargear slots for the Tabbards. They are currently tied to the Cloak section, but in the future they said they will allow you to select both. But for now, it is really only on the Tactical and Assault. You have some of the Black Templars champions stuff over here, like the Battle-Worn Tabard, and we have 4 new Ultragrind Ordeals that are split between the PvP and the PvE modes. We're going to go and showcase those now, because over here in the Data Vault, they're really not too bad, because first up we got Expeditious Termination, and a hard difficulty siege or an absolute difficulty operation. Incapacitate a terminus level enemy within 7 seconds of inflicting the first wound. The next one here is for the PvP Assault Doctrine. Slay enemies in Eternal War using melee weapons. There's, you have to get a maximum of 500 kills here, which is really not too bad at all. And the next one here is slay enemies in Eternal War using ranged weapons for a maximum of 500. Now, unfortunately, for those of you that want to do this, you cannot actually do the private mode like you can for the other Eternal War Ordeals, because the private modes do not count for these. I'm pretty sure that Saber really wants players playing PvP this time around, and because of that, you do actually have to play the mode. But keep in mind, this patch has brought in weekly accolades to the PvP mode, and because of that, you will be rewarded in your PvE experience while you get these finished. So it's not as bad as it sounds initially. Final one here is Angelic Retribution. As Assault, slay or incapacitate 20 enemies in 7 seconds using melee weapons in missions on absolute difficulty. And this one is also incredibly easy to get, and I'll be showing you how to do these two right now. Now, the easiest way to do Expeditious Termination is to go into the battle bar for the custom stratagems. Turn your difficulty to hard, because this will count as absolute difficulty for the purposes of Ultragrind Ordeals. Saber Interactive has confirmed they will not be changing that at any point in the future. So when it comes to PvE Ordeals, this is just the way to go. So all you have to do is change this to hard, go to the debuff section for the bosses, where basically we're going to put on Reinforced Cranium down here to give all bosses a 35% HP reduction. And we'll also go down here again for the perk, which is Enduring Foes, or the modifier here, for another 35% HP reduction. Then we go into the buff section, and you really take whatever you possibly can to up your total damage amount. Things like Point Blank, things like Combat Mastery for melee damage and range damage increases. These will all make your DPS go through the roof. And then after that, all you really have to do is find a boss in the mission. And for the purposes of this guide, I would definitely take the tactical class, build for pure Auspex damage and stuff like Precise Calibration and Concentrate Fire, because this will give you a 300% damage bonus to your Auspex scan and the enemies you're trying to damage, which is very high. And with that 70% HP reduction those enemies will have with those modifiers, you will nuke down a boss in like 2 seconds. And the weapon I would pick for this is just a heroic heavy bolt rifle, or really any other option you can for like maximum damage, like a bolt carbine, because your DPS with stuff like Point Blank will be so damn high that with that Auspex scan, you will kill a boss in like seconds. It is very easy to pull off, and then all you have to do is just rinse and repeat and just turn on those other buffs. It's pretty much the same as like the Cape Grind Ordeal from a while back, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Lower their HP, take whatever damage buffs you possibly can, and then also just take the heaviest hitting weapons you can on top of Auspex scan, because Auspex is just the de facto way to do this, in my opinion. That's pretty much all there is for Expeditious Termination. Now, when it comes to the next Ultragrind Ordeal here, which is called Angelic Retribution, that requires you to slay or incapacitate 20 enemies within 7 seconds using melee weapons in missions on absolute difficulty. This one is super easy to pull off. All you have to do is go back into the custom stratagems like before, turn the difficulty onto hard like I mentioned previously, take this to any Tyranid map, and put on the debuff down here, which is called Meat for the Slaughter, because this will spawn a ton of Hormagaunts for you. You can even put on things like Tsunami if you want to, for like massive waves, because that will just give you a ridiculous amount of these guys coming at you. So if you turn on this modifier, it's actually pretty good. And the class you would de facto take for this is, of course, the Assault class, because Assault with a Thunderhammer has 100 cleave on his ground pound, which means you can hit up to 100 enemies at a single time and deal damage to them. All the other weapons for ground pound only have a 15 cleave potential, which means you'll be killing fewer enemies. And because of that, you really just need to take the perk here, Zealous Blow, Blow and a Thunder Hammer and like stuff like Smiting Angel, but like really you don't even need this. As long as you have Zealous Blow and a Thunder Hammer, just go into the Minora's pack and just go up and down over and over with your ground slams, because that's really all it takes on this. Zealous Blow will give you back 10% jump pack charge for every ground pound kill, which will give you back like double charges at times, which means you will just hop from pack to pack, and every single massive wave will just turn into like every single inch of this ordeal being completed. And it's really that simple. That's all you have to do for the Assault one. Is probably the easiest Ultra Grind ordeal in the entire game currently, but hopefully they gave you an idea of how to complete this one. And when it comes to the PvP ordeals, since you can't play them in private mode, your only real solution here is just play the PvP. Now, one thing here is that you will get accolades for playing in the PvP mode now. As long as you earn requisition points in Eternal War and get 30 kills in Eternal War, you will get your accolades for your heroic weapons and other heroic cosmetics. And also, as of the making of this video, there is a community event ongoing that will also give you 200 accolades for completing 3 Eternal War matches in any game mode. So that's really all you have to do. It is that simple. Just play the PvP, try to get your kills, and eventually you will unlock these other Ultra Grind ordeals. I know a lot of you guys don't like the PvP at all, and that kind of pisses you off. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the PvP, and I'll probably get these eventually, but that's really all there is to it. You just play the PvP, get your kills, and that's all you have to do. But that is pretty much all I have to say in this one, guys. Hope this gave you a better idea of how to complete some of those PvE operation ordeals, and just for things like the modifier selection. Now, keep in mind, as we move into patch 15, there will be a third Wargear slot. Saber Interactive has also confirmed that we will be getting capes for Bulwark eventually, and the Tabard and Cloak customization will also be coming to the Heavy and the Vanguard class here at some point in the future. But for now, that is pretty much all there is for this one. You are stuck to unlocking these Tabbards and Cloaks on the Tactical and Assault class, and maybe they'll add in new Ultra Grind ordeals for those other classes in the future. But that's all I have to say in this one, and hopefully this guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And if you want to watch me live to ask you questions about the game, or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description. I'll also have a link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.